welcome to 30-minute stretch. Make sure you're relatively comfortable, you've got water around if you need it. If there's any of the stretches you want to hold for a little bit longer, you can just pause that video, hold it for a little bit longer, and then just carry on whenever you like. So that's the beauty of it. If you do have any questions on anything, just drop me or Alex a message and we'll try and help you as much as we can. So we're going to get started. We're going to make sure our feet are roughly underneath our hips, toes are forward. Our feet are grounded down into the floor, so we're equally distributing our weight. Our knees are going to be nice and spongy as well. We're going to make sure our pelvis is relatively level. We're going to think about keeping our ribs down. I'm just going to lengthen up to the spine so we're nice and tall. We're going to take a deep breath in through our nose. We're going to pick our shoulders up, push them back, and breathe out through our mouth as we slide those down our back. So in through the nose, out through the mouth. If you want, you can close your eyes. It should feel really nice. We're going to do 2 more shoulder rolls. And then slide those shoulders down your back. I want you to keep the body nice and still. We're going to have the chin parallel to the floor. We're just going to turn the head from side to side. Again, you can close your eyes if you like. Just mobilizing into that neck, just nice and gently. I'm going to go 1 more each side. I'm going to finish back in the center. And then we're just going to drop the head from shoulder to shoulder. So we're just stretching through either side of the neck this time. Again, just make sure that's nice and gentle. And if you need to, if one side's a little bit stiff, you can hold your head there a little bit longer. Okay, we're going to go 1 more each side. I'm going to finish back in the center. And then we're just going to drop our head forward and slowly lift that up. Now, don't extend too far, just lift the chin up a little bit. But really think about bringing the chin down towards your chest. We've really got a nice stretch to the back of the neck. And go 1 more each way. I'm going to finish back in the center. And then we're just going to mobilize our spine. So we're going to do our lateral flexion first. I want you to imagine you've got a pane of glass in front and behind you. It's going to keep your shoulders nice and stacked. And we're just going to slide in between those 2 panes of glass. So we're just stretching down either side of the body. Just relax the arms a little bit, relax the shoulders. I'm going to go 1 more each side. Then we're going to finish that back in the center. We're going to do our spinal rotation. So we're going to place our hands lightly on our arms, and we're going to keep our hips forward. So we're not going to twist from the waist. We're not going to twist kind of through the legs. We're going to keep that nice and forward. We're going to twist through the waist. So we're going to breathe in, on the out breath, twist from side to side. I'm going to do one more each side. I'm going to finish back in the centre. I'm just going to bring our arms down to our sides. So we're going to do our roll downs next. I'm just going to turn around so you can see me. Now you can take your feet slightly further apart if you like, if you need a little bit more balance. I'm going to lengthen up. We're going to breathe into the nose. And then on our out breath, we're going to tuck our chin and we're going to start to roll down through our spine. Now you can pop a bend in those knees if you like as well, just to save the hamstrings. Take it as far as you can the first time. Breathe in when you get there. And then breathe out to slowly release and bring that back up. Vertebrae by vertebrae, restacking that. Breathing in at the top and breathing out, repeating that movement. So really think about tucking the chin into your chest. Relaxing the arms and the shoulders. Maybe see if you can take that a little bit further this time. Breathe in at the bottom. And breathe out on the way back up. Finishing with the shoulders and the head. Breathing in. On the out breath, rolling that down. I'm going to do 2 more. On that second one, we're going to finish down. If it's comfortable, you can place your hands on the floor. If you prefer, you can place each hand on each elbow. But just relax the shoulders, relax the head, pop a bigger bend in those knees if you need to. And just enjoy that feeling of gravity just pulling your head down towards the floor and decompressing through that spine. Okay, when you're ready, I'm just going to place our hands on the floor. We're going to bring our knees down. And we're going to come into an all fours position. We're going to have our hands roughly underneath our shoulders, our knees are roughly underneath our hips. So you've got a nice long spine. And we're going to do our thoracic rotation for our spinal mobility. This is going to stretch through our chest a little bit as well. We're going to breathe in. On our out breath, we're slowly going to take our arm out to the side. We're going to open that chest up. We're going to try taking that arm as far as we can. And then we're going to bring that back down. We're going to switch sides. So we're going to breathe in on the out breath, bringing that other arm up, opening that chest, and slowly bringing that back down. So keeping the movement nice and slow and controlled. We're really trying to think about lifting that arm as high as we can, really stretching through the front of the body. Think about squeezing the shoulder blades together to increase that range of movement. I'm going to go one more each side. Bring that hand down. And then we're just going to come back into our child's pose for a second. So we're just going to place our feet together, spread our knees, walk our hands out in front, and we're just going to sit that back and stretch through the sides of the body here into that back. Just place the forehead on the floor and take some nice deep breaths. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to roll that back up and we're going to do our chest stretch in our camel position now. So there's a few ways of doing this. You're going to be up in a high kneeling position. Now just take your knees just slightly wider than your hips just to make sure you've got some nice balance. Now the first way we can do this is we can place our hands into our lower back / on the top of our bum. We're going to bring the elbows back as far as we can. And then we're going to push our hips forward. We're going to lean our shoulders back slightly and we're going to think about pushing our chest forward. So you really want to feel a stretch across the top part of the body here, maybe even into the core down the front. And keep the chin relatively tucked, so don't let it back too far, but don't tuck it in too much either. So you want to keep it relatively neutral. And just take some deep breaths here. If you want to increase, you can let those hands off, you can clasp your fingers, and you can bring your hands down towards your legs. If you want a little bit more, you can place your hands onto your ankles, and you can stretch through the front into that full camel position, but only if you feel you can do that. You can keep it in that original one if you prefer. And just take some deep breaths, whichever one you're in. Okay, when you're ready, bring that back up. We're going to come back into that child's pose and we're going to stretch that out. We're going to do our thread the needle. So we're going to have our feet together and knees apart. We're going to walk our hands forward first. Once we're relatively comfortable, we're going to pick up our right arm and we're going to thread it underneath our left armpit. We're then going to place the side of the head on the floor. So you should feel a stretch into your shoulder, into your back. Maybe a couple of other places as well. Just enjoy that. Take some nice deep breaths. I'm going to unthread this side. We're going to place that hand on the floor. We're going to pick up our left arm, thread it underneath that right armpit, place the side of the head on the floor. Again, just take some nice deep breaths. Enjoy that stretch. I'm going to unthread this side. I'm going to place that hand down and then we're just going to roll up through that spine. We're going to do our straddle sequence next. So I'm going to bring myself down onto the floor. There we go. We're going to have our Legs out. Now, if this is uncomfortable for you, you can bring your one leg in if you prefer, whatever's the most comfortable. If possible, have those legs far apart as you can. And we want to make sure we're nice and tall, so we're going to lengthen up through that spine. You may need to wiggle the bum back a little bit, so we kind of crouch forwards. Think about bringing that forward. We're going to place our hands lightly on the floor. We're going to take a deep breath in. And on that out breath, we're going to lean our chest forward ever so slightly. So we're not stretching the hands forward, keeping the elbows down, just relaxing by our sides. And we're thinking about leaning that belly button down towards the floor. You're going to feel a stretch on the hamstrings, on the inside of the leg, maybe even into the calves or the ankles. Lower back too. Just take some nice deep breaths. Just think about relaxing those muscles. When you're ready, we're just going to roll that back up. We're then going to take our chest towards our one leg, whichever one you prefer. We're going to do both sides. We're going to do exactly the same. So we're just going to place our hands lightly either side of that thigh. We're going to make sure our elbows are nice and loose, and we're going to think about getting our belly button down towards that thigh. So we're leaning forward into that leg. Again, we're not stretching that forward. We're thinking about leaning that in one go. Take some nice deep breaths here. When you're ready, we're just going to roll that back up. This time we're going to twist our chest round, and we're going to have our shoulder over that same leg. So we're going to lean this over to the side this time. So I want you just to place your hands lightly in front of that leg. Now, as you start to lean, you might need to kind of crawl the fingers down the leg slightly. We're going to use our other arm, we're going to lift that up, and we're going to start to lean that over. So just walk those fingers down if you need to, and lean that over. Now think about trying to keep that shoulder back. If the shoulder comes forward, just bring that back upright until you can bring that shoulder back. I'm going to get a really nice stretch down the side of the body. You may feel it into that lower back as well. And just take some nice deep breaths here. Bring that back up into the center. We're going to go the other side. So we're going to twist our chest towards that leg. We're going to place our hands lightly either side of that thigh. And we're just going to lean that belly button down towards that thigh. So again, we're not overstretching with the top part of the body, keeping those arms relatively close to us to lean that forward. Just take some nice deep breaths. Think about relaxing those muscles that you can feel that tightness in. When you're ready, roll up through the spine. We're going to twist this round. We're going to have our shoulder over the top of that leg. Place that hand lightly in front of that leg. Bring that other arm up and start to lean that over. If you need to, just crawl those fingers along in front. Again, taking some nice deep breaths, keeping those shoulders open as as much as you can. Bring that back up into the center. I'm going to bring that back around. We're going to lean that forward one more time. So we're just going to place our hands lightly in front of us. Just loosen those elbows and lean that forward. And just see if you can lean that a little bit further forward than you could before. Roll that back up. Just going to place our feet flat on the floor. We're going to have our knees bent up. We're just going to bring a little bit of blood to flow back through those legs. So just place those hands behind and we're just going to rock those knees from side to side slightly. Okay, when you're ready, bring that back into the center. We're going to roll this down and we're going to do our hip rolls. So we're going to have our knees bent up and our feet flat. I want you to interlace your fingers. We're going to place those on the bottom of the ribs. And the elbows are going to be either side. So it's kind of working like a seat belt. We're going to try and keep our upper body as still as possible. Now the feet, doesn't really matter how far apart they are. Don't have them too far. They can be together or they can kind of be hip distance. We're going to breathe in. On our out breath, we're slowly going to take our knees to one side. And then we're slowly going to bring that back into the center, take them all the way over the other side. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth. You can take them a little bit further each side if that's comfortable for you. The feet are going to lift slightly, the hips are going to lift too. Upper body should stay nice and still. But it should feel really nice into your lower back, into your hips. I'm going to go one more each side. I'm going to bring that back into the center. Then we're just going to take our arms out to the side. We're going to cross our right leg over our left and let our knees drop towards the left hand side for our spinal twist. And just take some nice deep breaths here. When you're ready, Bring those knees back into the center. We're going to uncross this side. We're going to cross our left over our right and let our knees drop towards the right hand side. When you're ready, bring those knees back into the center. We're going to uncross. We're going to take a long body stretch, fingertips to toes, and just rotate those wrists and ankles. Take some nice deep breaths into the nose and back out gently through the mouth. Then going to bring those knees into our chest, wrap the arms around and just rock side to side slightly. And just release that lower back. Again, just taking some nice deep breaths. And then when you're ready, roll over onto your side and push yourself up into a comfortable seated position. And just take a couple of moments, just take some nice deep breath. Bring your awareness back. And I hope you enjoyed the stretch, guys. If you do have any questions, just let me know, drop me a line, and I'll see you soon. Bye.